Today, I want to talk about how to choose the right shoes for your fall and winter outfits. So we're going to concentrate mainly on pants and jeans today because adding skirts and dresses just made the video way too long. So I can add a second video, and if you want to see that one with skirts and dresses, then let me know in the comments below. But I'm going to give you a lot of examples in this video, a lot of comparisons with different shoes, mainly boots and flats and sneakers. And so you will get an idea of what will go well with some of the style items you have in your closet. So hopefully you find this really helpful. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing. And remember, especially during this holiday season, love your neighbor and be kind. So a very important thing to consider when you are trying to figure out what shoes go with your bottoms is how wide is that leg opening? So we're going to start with some wide leg trousers. And I have a couple of trousers to show you and then a pair of jeans so you can get a good idea for both. And so the first one we're going to start with is a wool trouser, which is a little bit heavier. And so what I want to say about the leg opening is when you have a really wide leg opening, it's really smart to put something a little bit lower profile, more streamlined with it. So stay away from your really chunky things that are going to add weight to that opening, because the wide leg has to lay really nicely on the foot and not bunch up too much, especially if you have a pair of pants on that are a little bit dressy. So I wanted to show you this with a sock bootie because sock booties are my favorite ankle boot for the season. I think they're super easy to wear with all different styles except for maybe skinnies. So if you're wearing straight leg, wide leg, things like that, then it's going to just go underneath that pant leg really well. And this is a streamlined boot, so it fits really nicely to the foot and has a very low profile to it. Just to compare it, I want to show it to you with the Chelsea boots, because this is where I would say stay away from something really chunky, something that has a round toe. It just makes it look stumpy and kind of tree trunkish, and you just kind of have, you know, all one look to the bottom, and it just does not lay well and does not look good. So hopefully you agree with me here. And I also wanted to show you this pointed toe ankle boot that's a little bit dressier. I think the pointed toe looks really good. So with the wide leg, you also want to consider that you want that toe box, so the shape of that toe, to come out from that pant and look really nice. Because with the wide leg, if you're hiding most of the front of the toe of the shoe, it's going to give that kind of stumpy look and not look very good. So I love these two options. So square toe, pointed toe, something that's a sock bootie, or just a boot that is a little bit more low profile as opposed to your more chunky. So I also wanted to show you these light colored trousers that I have that are a little bit shorter and a little bit less wide in the leg. And I just wanted to show you these because I think they're a little bit more casual and a little bit easier to wear, and you guys might have something more similar to these. But I wanted to show you them with the sock booties because of course the sock booties look good. This is a very streamlined shoe that has a low profile, and I love that it has a heel because it gives you a little more height and allows that pant leg to lay really nicely. So in comparison, I wanted to show you this with a pair of loafers that are classic and a pair of loafers that are chunky. And I actually didn't like either of these. And you can see that the pant leg just kind of puddles on top of it. There's really no room for the pant to lay nicely, and so that's what a heel does. And a lot of times with wide legs, it just looks better to have something with a little bit of a heel. And the chunky loafers I thought might be okay, but you can see how that chunkiness just adds to that leg and just makes it look heavy and not very good. And then I wanted to show you the pointed toe flats because I think this is a decent option if it had maybe a little bit of a heel on it. And I was thinking more of your sling back pointed toe that has maybe 2-inch heel, maybe even a 1-inch heel on it, which I did not have. But you can see the pointed toe looks good, and you can see that because it's showing a little bit of skin, that there's some separation with the pant leg, and it actually looks pretty good that way. And it would look better if I had a little bit of a heel here. So hopefully you get the idea of this and what I'm talking about. And maybe you have a sling back shoe that has a 1 or 2-inch heel on it. If you do, that would be great with your wide leg trousers. So I think for a wide leg jean, you're going to have some of the same thought processes as you do with your wide leg trousers. But I did want to include a more casual option here with some sneakers. So I wanted to show you the wide leg jeans with a low profile fashion sneaker like my Golden Goose goose compared to more of a trainer style. And you can see here how the pant leg falls onto that shoe, and it just looks much better with the lower profile sneakers as opposed to your trainers. So your trainers are a little too chunky and take up a little bit too much space and kind of give that tree trunk effect, which you don't want. So hopefully that'll give you an example, and you have some sneakers in your closet that you might want to put with your wide leg jeans. And then I also have a wide leg trouser that is short enough that I actually created an outfit with my more fashion sneakers. So I wanted to show you it because I thought this was a really cute outfit and a really good option to do if you have some trousers that are short enough that you can do flats with, because I don't think you have to totally eliminate flats with them, but if they're too long and they just don't sit well on the foot, you have to consider that. So if the front of them just pulls like it did in those oyster trousers with the loafers, then I think you just want to rethink it, and you'll have to wear a little bit more of a heel or something that works better. But if you have a shorter pair of wide legs, then you can definitely do some lower profile flat shoes. So now I want to talk about tapered pants, because I think they have become pretty popular, and I do think they are difficult to style with certain shoes. I really think flats, a lot of your classic flats like loafers and ballet flats, go really well with them, because a lot of them will come up and show a little bit of the ankle, which is nice when you have flats on. Having that little bit of separation actually looks a little bit better. So I wanted to show you these tapered pants that I have with the loafers, and I know these loafers are not the right color, but it's the color that I had, and it's just a nude classic loafer. And then I wanted to show you the chunkier loafer. Now I don't love the chunkier loafer, but I think you could do it if you styled it well. Sometimes when you have things that you can wear chunky shoes with, you just have to balance the top half a little bit. And I'm not really doing outfits here, so just so you know, if you want to wear that chunkier shoe with these, you could do it. You just have to balance it with your top half. But I do love the loafer styles. I love the pointed toe flats. I think they look really good. And I think if you want to just have a little bit of a dressier look, then you could do this. Even a ballet flat would work. If you don't have a pointed toe, you could do a round toe or a square toe. And then I wanted to show you the sock booties with these, because I do not think the sock booties look very good. The sock booties go really well with pants and jeans where the leg opening goes easily over them. With a tapered pant, it does not easily go over them, and you can see that here. But I do love a lower shaft ankle boot that is actually close to the ankle. This boot fits really close to my skin, and it's got that skinny heel, and I think it dressed these up and made it look really good. So if you have an ankle boot that the pant just sits right on top of it, I think that looks great. And I love this option. This is actually my favorite option with these. So for the tapered pants, you just really have to consider how much they're tapered. And so if that taper is tight, then it's not going to fit over the shaft of a boot very well. But if it's looser, you can absolutely do that if it looks good. So you just have to try them on and figure that out. And then balancing your top half, if you want to wear a little bit of a chunkier shoe with your tapered pants, I think you can absolutely do it. It's a little bit of a trendier look. So if you like trendier looks, then you can do that. And then also consider a lower shaft ankle boot if you want to dress them up that has a skinny heel and is just more streamlined and fits close to the body. So now I want to talk about straight leg pants and jeans, because I think this is the easiest one to wear with all different kinds of shoes. And the only thing I think that does not go very well with a straight leg is maybe your knee-high boots or your ankle boots that have a wider shaft that fills up that entire leg opening. So remember, when you're looking at your leg openings, that you want things that go underneath them to have a little bit more definition, a little bit more separation, because if not, you get that kind of tree trunk effect. And you can get that in a straight leg jean as well. And so I would stick with more of your streamlined ankle boots that go underneath that leg really well. So the sock booties, and then I actually put the lower shaft skinny heel ankle boots that I have with them, and I thought this looked wonderful. It dresses them up a little bit, and that pant leg just comes perfectly down to that shaft. But I also love shoes like flats that are pointed toe, or even your ballet flats, and you can also wear loafers, whether they're classic or chunky. And absolutely love my Chelsea boots with them as well. So I think you have a lot of good options as long as the shaft of the boot goes underneath the leg and there's separation there. And then any of your flats that you can show a little skin with, that looks really good. And so I guess I should probably mention that these are ankle length, and I think the ankle length on a straight leg pair of jeans should either be right at your ankle or a little above. And I do think it's personal preference. I don't think there's any specific way you have to go, but I really love mine at the length where they are just right at my ankle, because I can wear flatter shoes with them, I can wear sneakers with them, or I can put a little bit of a heel on with them, and it really works. So this is definitely the most versatile, the easiest to think about. Just coordinate your outfits really well with whatever shoe you choose. And if you're wearing an ankle boot, just make sure it fits really nicely underneath that leg opening. So I know there is a big debate on whether skinny jeans are in or not, but I wanted to touch on them because I think people still love wearing them. And I think the fall and winter is a great time to wear them, especially if you want to wear a knee-high boot. But first I want to touch on that I think skinny jeans go well with most flats, because you do have, if it's an ankle skinny, then you have skin showing, there's a little bit of separation, and it's easy to wear a flat shoe with these because the jean does not impede onto the shoe at all or cover any of it. And you don't have to worry about heel height or anything there. So I think you're good to go on most flats, even if they are a little chunky. So if you want to wear something like a chunky loafer, I would just balance it with something on top that's a little bit chunkier to create balance in that outfit. So I don't think you have to stay away from chunky here. I think you can definitely do it. So I want to show you two examples that I just think did not work. One was a sock booty, because the jean came over the sock booty fine, but it was just too tight and it just does not look good. And then I put it with the shorter shaft skinny heeled boots, and if my skinny jeans were a little bit shorter, if they didn't pull on top of that ankle boot, then I think they would look good. But you don't want them pulling or sitting, and I would not cuff these because it's too casual. But if I wanted to be a little bit more casual and cuff them, I would certainly throw them on with my Chelsea boots, which this is going to show you a good chunky shoe example, something with a lug sole on it that really works well. And I think it works well if you actually balance your top half with this. And because the Chelsea boot is casual, it's great for rainy season and winter season and running around. I think this is a really good option with it. And just make sure you balance your top half. And then I was also surprised, I have these Western inspired ankle boots that have a skinny shaft, and when I put my skinny jeans over these, I actually kind of enjoyed the way it looked. So if you have an ankle boot that you love with it that looks good like this, then I think you absolutely do it. But also, if you have an ankle boot that has a wider opening, which I don't have many of those anymore, since the straight leg jeans have become so popular, most of the shafts of the ankle boots are a little bit slimmer. But if you have a wider one, say you have a moto boot or combat boot or something that you can even put over the shaft of the skinnies, I think that looks really good. So you can lace up a boot over them, or you can just have a loose kind of slouchy boot over them, and that looks really good. So I hope you found this helpful, and if you want a video on choosing shoes with your skirts and dresses and things like that, then let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing, and I will talk to you next time.